Alright, let's review the sad game. Oh no, feedback. Alright, so I had a lot of questions this game. Let's go look at my major deal-ins first. At this point, I don't regret pushing anything because South 3, if I lose the dealership, I basically lose the game. So the most important one, I guess, is this one right here, which was the 18,000 point or 8,000 point deal-in. What did I deal into, and why did I deal into it? Oh. So, still one Shanten for a pretty nice hand. I can't account for any Dora, though, at this point, which is really scary. Especially to the person that could actually use this Dora. Well, actually, we're in South 4, so anyone can use... Or East 4, so anyone can use the East Dora. So, what do I do here? The 9-pin is technically pretty scary for everyone right now, except me and this person. They dropped a 7-pin later on as well, so it makes it especially scary right here. And then whenever they pwn, they dropped a south safe tile, so they're most probably in Tenpai. So, what should I do here? Without hitting Tenpai, I should probably actually drop the 1-mon. And then if I actually do hit Tenpai, then I can drop it, regardless. The big thing is I don't want to deal into a hand without actually having something to fight for. Alright. My friend's trying to codify the... How can you justify pushing with one Shanten? So we're talking about one Shanten, about like when can you actually push it? Like, what is like the hard criteria of like, oh, because I have this, then I should actually take this one Shanten push against like a Riichi. So the biggest criteria for pushing a one Shanten is probably time, like when you actually push it, the value of the hand that you're pushing, and the shape of the hand that you're pushing, of like how likely are you actually to get into Tenpai. So, for instance, for time, it's a lot more beneficial to push in the early game, or even maybe like early middle game, at the very least, because you get more time to actually get worth back from your hand. If you do it too late, even if you do get Tenpai, the chance of you winning is not going to be that high, because you don't have that many draws left. So, and also the earlier you push, the less likely it is of the tiles that you do have to push, they'll deal in. Because later in the hand, if you push a dangerous tile at that point, a lot of the tiles have already been kind of like accounted for, so there's a higher chance you're going to be dealing in if you're still throwing a dangerous tile at that point. Another thing to consider when pushing one Shanten, especially early game, is the number of Suji tiles remaining. A pretty good percent of all weights, especially early Richis, are going to be on double-sided weights. Because that's the case, if you can look and see that there is, I don't know, like 16 remaining Suji tiles out of the possible 18, it's a lot more beneficial to push than if there's like 8 or like 6, which is pretty dangerous. So if you do have like 16 tiles, then that's like great. If you have something like 10 tiles, not as great, but it's like borderline okay. But if you have something like 7 or 6 or 8, anything around like lower that range, it's pretty questionable at that point. Unless you just have like overwhelming value that you should push with. And also really, really good shapes. Okay, all the Mahjong talk. Alright, let's step through my notes for this game. First one, East 1-0, 6 turn. And like always, if anyone has any questions, feel free to message me on Twitch or wherever, and I'll be sure to look at that. So this is kind of interesting. So I got 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4 block, 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 blocks. So I think right here, yeah, I should probably slim down to the 6 blocks, cut out the 5, keep this these around. I could still potentially get another pair in multiple ways. For instance, if I get an 8, this could even be my pair. I could also get a pair from the 3, 5, 7 shape if I draw like any one of those. Then I can confirm this as a double-sided shape right here, so I got a lot of options. Plus, this hand's probably going to be a quick open hand anyway, or if not, then I'll probably just be folding it. The shapes right now are kind of bad, and the Shanten is pretty bad for the turn that we're in. Plus, the door is the hard-to-use Hatsu, and yeah. I think slimming down this hand, or at least to 5 blocks, is fine here. Alright. Next up, East 2-0, 9th turn, no call. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I probably should have maybe called on this one. I didn't want to drop any kind of really dangerous thing right now to the board. Stuff's starting to heat up. But I could drop the Hatsu, and if I'm planning to, then confirming Tanya right here wouldn't be that bad. It's an open 3,900 point hands. If I get another door somehow, it can also even become Mongon. Plus, even if something really bad goes wrong with one of these two Riichi, I have this other Hatsu to rely on, so all in all, I don't think it's super bad. If I pass that up, I'm still 2 Shanten, and I'm going to have to drop one of these shapes anyway. So I think calling this is probably the best option right now. Because even if I don't call and get like a 9-so or something, unless I'm willing to drop one of the shapes to the Dora, I have to drop this anyway, and if I do that, even if these come out, I can't call them. Whereas if I call this and the 4 comes out, or the 5 or the 8 comes out, I can instantly call it, get Tenpai for a 3,900 point hand. At the least. Lots of choices. I think this is definitely a miss in the game, though. Because I saw this, I'm like, oh, I don't want to call my double-sided weight. You know, I still have a bad shape right here. But because it confirms Tanyao, I think it's a lot better. Alright. Then couldn't drop the Haku, switch over right here. Now I can get Tenpai by calling either the 4, the 6, or the 3. But they went right there. So, off to the next question. 6th turn and 9th turn in 3-0. Let's see what this is about. Okay, what do I drop here? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. So normally in the case of 6 blocks, you want to potentially slim down, but there are some cases where you can keep all 8 in order to get rid of one of your bad shapes. But, what do we have here? One of our shapes has the Dora in it, and so even though it's like a really edge weight, which is just like iffy, it's the only value that we have in this hand. We could potentially also get Sanshoku if we get a 4-5-6, 4-5-6, 4-5-6. So that's not that bad. I guess considering that, we could also get Sanshoku. The 2-pin right here isn't that bad. Because if we keep the 2-pin around, and we draw a 3-pin, then we can get a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shape, which is really good, and then like maybe throw out the door even. And if we throw out the 2-pin instead, we have the chance to instantly draw the 8-so or the 3-mon and clear out one of the bad shapes, and we could drop the other one. And because we would have Pinfu and even potentially Sanshoku chance, we don't really care that much about dropping the Dora. If we do happen to draw an 8-so. I think this is actually a good question for Hitori Mahjong Simulator. So let's throw that in there. Oh, and also, Withheld followed me last, when I was playing the last game. I just remembered. So thank you for following me, by the way. Alright, now let's go to the editor, open up Hitori Mahjong Simulator, and throw in this. So we're on about the, I don't know, 6th turn? Oh, whoops. So let's just get rid of some random honor tiles. Perfect. Alright. Now, the door is, or the door indicator is the 9. And I gotta fill out everything else. So I've got 9 right there. Oh, we do have a couple pairs of our guest wind. Don't think that'll matter much, actually. Oops. Let's see, we got the 5, we got a 4, we got a 6. Then we got a 4, 5, 7, 9 Sozu. Alright, that looks about good. So, let's try that out. And check out the results. So, this right here is the winning percent. This right here is the tenpai percent, and this right here is the expected value. So, according to this, 2-pin has a pretty high expected value over a lot of the other choices. The second choice being the 9. So, comparing the winning rates between them, the 2 has a bit higher winning rate as well. So I guess in this specific case, it is okay to keep the 5 blocks. I guess because the 3-pin doesn't give that much of a benefit. I'm sorry, the 2-pin doesn't give that much of a benefit as a floating tile compared to lesser or less ideal shapes. But if it was perhaps like a strong, I don't know. In this case, we can't really get a strong floating tile in the middle. But if you compare like a 2-pin to like 3 through 7, it can only use 1/2 of the side to actually get a double side weight, so I guess that makes sense. And 2-pin's what I went to extinctly here as well. And plus, if we do get the 3, that lowers the chance that we could potentially get our Sanshoku as well. So I guess that adds to the benefit of its value. That's cool. Alright. 9th turn. 1 person open. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. I actually wanted to throw this one into Hitori Mahjong Simulator as well. Yeah, I think I should have probably thrown out the 4 again. Even though the board is lighting up. I don't know. Like, this over here looks really, really dangerous. Or not really dangerous, but it looks really, really close to Tenpai. They also have the Hatsu, so they can easily use the Dora. But they didn't call the 1 right here, and then they dropped the 6 pretty early on, so the 4 is probably pretty safe for them. That being said, what do I do? So actually, I'm going to throw this one as well into Hitori Mahjong Simulator real quick. So see what that gives me. Opening Chrome again. Yeah, it's suggesting the 4 so's right as well right now. Except the winning percent of this hand is really, really, really low. But even then, I think especially for an actual game, I think the 4 so is important there. Because the only chance that we do have of kind of like speeding this hand up is if we get open Sanshoku. Which, if we throw out the 9, then we lose that chance. Because, well, we don't lose it, but it's going to be a little bit harder because we have to throw a 4 and a 7 a little bit later on when they're going to be more dangerous. So, yeah. So, yeah, I think the 4 so right there is probably okay. And for safety-wise, it's only okay because they dropped this early and the 1 came out right here. But actually, the 1 did come out before they called the Hatsu. So it could still potentially be pretty dangerous. It's probably not the 6-7 shape, though. Or 5-6 shape, unless they have a red 5, then that would make sense. Yeah, I don't know. If I have to guesstimate their hands, it's probably 1 Shanten or Tenpai at this point, but let's find out. So they were at 1 Shanten right now, and yeah, they did have this actually. So they didn't call the 1-4 because it was before they actually had a confirmed Yaku, so they didn't want to call that. But they're still 1 Shanten at this point. Oh, scary, scary. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright. So, next question. East 4-3, 5th turn, no 3-mon call, and 15th turn. So I think this was probably the biggest hand in the game. For me at least. Before this, everyone just kept winning, and I'm like really sad as I dropped down. Oh wait, no, here we go. So yeah, this was probably the biggest mystery hand in the game. So let's step through this. First question we have on here is on the 5th turn. Yeah, I guess 2-pin. I was wondering, is there any benefit in keeping 2-pin over anything else? But throwing the 2-mon in here leads to some added benefits, even though the 1-mon is kind of dead. If we get like a 1, 2, 3, actually, does it lead to many benefits? So if we get a 3, that's like a pair with the 1-mons, 2, 3, 4, and then we have the 5, 6, 7, 7, 8 shape. I guess that's not bad. It's not like really good either. It's 3 groups of 3 in 1 pair, so we'd still need a complete get 3 more tiles in order to actually make it a Monzu Chinitsu. But I mean, if we get a good draw, we could potentially do that, so it's not unheard of. So yeah, I think 2-pin is probably okay here. We don't get that much benefit from the 3-pin draw either. There's no door or anything around it as well. Now, let's see. 6 came out here. I'm like, okay, do I call this 6? Because if I call this 6, then I get a 7, 8, and then I get this 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 shape. But, you know, that doesn't give me much either, because I'm either locking myself into potential Tanyao, except that's going to be kind of hard, because this can take in the 9. And even if I do want Chinitsu, I still have to draw 3 more perfect tiles. The biggest problem with going for a full flush right here of the 1-mon is that it's dead. Or of the Monzu is because the 1-mon's dead. This makes it really hard to actually get this. Because if we can pawn this, we can, you know, do anything else with this. We can, like, switch over our pairs, do whatever. So I guess that raises the question, should we even have pawned that last 1-mon? And for that, I still say it's probably no, because at that point we're 4 tiles away from a full flush. compared to just being like 2 tiles away from, you know, Tenhou Tanya or Tenhou Dora something something. So yeah. Then I drew another 8, and so now I have a 6, 7, 7, 8, 8 shape, plus the 5, 3, or 4, 5 mon, plus this 1, 1, 2 right here. This is rough. Yeah, this is still rough. Even if I do treat it like that, it's still like 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. But now we actually have the chance, if only a little bit, of drawing one more tile to have all of the blocks that we need for Chinitsu. Bad with hands like this. I guess dropping our pair isn't that bad, because like this is kind of already by itself locked in as a pair. So dropping this 4, we don't actually lose that much. So I think probably dropping the 4-so here is pretty good. Now, the 3. Should I have called this? Maybe. Very much so, maybe. So if I don't call anything right now, what do I have? I'm 2 Shanten away from Reichi, Tenhou Dora, potentially Peiko. If I call this 3 right now, I can't call the 1s, so I'm pretty sad, but I can still call several other things. I can call it 4 Manzu, I can call 7, I can call it 8, and then if I use it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can technically get a Manzu Chinitsu here. So maybe I actually should call this. There's still technically 3 of the Manzu, 3 Manzus left. So I could technically also not even lock in this 1 mon as a pair right here. It could technically become something else as well. If I do grab another 3 mon, and then the 7 or the 8 could also be become my pair. Plus, the same as if I were to ignore it, I'm still 2 Shanten, except this time I'm 2 Shanten to a Hanemon. Plus, it also puts pressure on the person to the left of me, because if they keep dropping tiles, I'll just Manzu tiles, I'll be very happy. So maybe calling right here is actually pretty good, even if the 1 mon is completely dead. The 8 has only 1 more left as well. 7 has 2, 5s have 2, 6s have 2, 4 and 3 and 2 all have, or actually 4 and 3 are both 3, and then 2 is 2, and then 9 is nowhere to be seen. So maybe it's actually pretty good. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more Ching's looks pretty okay. Yeah, I kind of like Chi here. And this is like my only bad shape. Like, if I view this as a 7-6, a 5-6, and another, I'm sorry, a 7-8, a 7-8, and a 5-6, it might not be that bad. Yeah. Plus, it doesn't look like the person right here can use that many Manzu tiles, so... and they look really good on the board, too. Yeah, I probably should call that 3 mon there. That's a hard question. Let's take a picture of this. Alright. Now, next question. 15th turn. Oh yeah, this is the one we looked at earlier. Of like, well, should we actually drop the 9 here? And at this point, because we don't have any benefit from this hand being in 1 Shanten, we should probably drop the 1-1. And then if we do get into Tenpai, then we would drop it. Because it's kind of dangerous for 2 people, especially this person who dropped the 7 later on. And we can't see any door right now either. Alright. So, going on. East. Actually, we're already in East. South 1-3. 5th turn and 9th turn. Okay, so 5th turn, we got what? Looking at the situation, a manga and sumo would be nice right now. So we're 1 Shanten away. Or are we 1 Shanten away? No, we're 2 Shanten away from Tenpai right now. Should we keep this 7 or should we keep the other shapes that we have? And I think probably we should keep the other shapes that we have. Probably. So we got 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4, 5 blocks. So we actually are Tatsu over right here. This is another question I think I should probably throw into Hitori Mahjong Simulator. Because I need a Mangan Sumo right here, ideally. Opening up with this hand and getting a Mangan might be kind of hard unless I get a pair of the Dora. So, let's see. What does the simulator say? So, we're on, like, the 4th turn. And we got, like, a Hatsu and a Chun. And, like, a 9-mon. Okay, and then, let's see. Looking at the tiles that we got. 6, 5, 4, 4. 2, 7, another 2. And then a lot of Manzu. Okay, and right there, and then we drew the 7. Change the door over to indicator being the 1 pin, and go. This one's taking a while to load. There we go. And the result is suggest a 7 pin. So 2 pin has the highest winning rate, but obviously because it's the Dora, the benefit right there is pretty high. 7 pin is a lone tile, so there's that. The other ones I was considering possibly is the 8, which the 8 actually does look pretty close in value actually to the 7. But the 7 still the 7 drop beats it out some. I guess because if we get like a 7 right here and we get that 3-side shape, that's pretty strong. So you could argue that in Red 5 Mahjong, the 7 actually might be a little bit stronger because we can get the Red 5 with that. And we'll probably be dropping this 8-6 anyway, unless we draw a 7 here. But we could actually draw like a 7 and then switch over to get like a 3-sided pair weight if we like draw 3. But in that case, we'd probably take the Richi on the Dora-Tonki. Because we need the Mangan here. So yeah, considering that, maybe 8-mon is actually better. The allure of Red 5 adds to the 7. Plus, if we're going to end up with the Tonki, we'd go for the 2-pin anyway. Oh, so about the simulator. It's called Itori Mahjong Simulator, and it only accounts for a couple things. First off, it is only sumo, so it doesn't account for like calling chi or other people dealing in. It only considers your sumo rates. The second thing is it doesn't have red 5s in that calculator. So in the actual game of like Tenhou and whatnot, the actual calculations of that will be a little bit different. So if we get a red 5 right here, how would the 8 affect that? We'd probably throw out the 2, we'd have the 5, 5, 8, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6 shape. So that's like 2 blocks right there. We have this over here. The 8 technically only provides like... Yeah, the only use I can like see in the 8 is like if we get like a 7. No, even then. If we get a 7 and we throw out the 6, and then we have a 3-sided pair weight. Which I guess wouldn't be bad if we had Ipeco Dora Dora, or Ipeco Red Dora right here. But aside from that case, we're probably going to be waiting on the 2-pin to actually get this to Mangan. I don't know. Maybe 7? Maybe 8? Choices. Alright. Next question. This is the 5th turn, so we have another question on the 9th turn. Hey, it's a 4-pin. And look, we actually did draw the 7 right here. So what do we do here? So I think I screwed up on this one. I think I should have dropped the 4-pin, or 4 Sozu right here. Because I want you to use the Dora no matter what. And if I draw a 3-pin, that's instantly Richi Tanyao Dora, waiting on a 3-sided 2, 5, 8 weight. Which is really good, I think. Well, actually not that good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tiles? That's not bad. But if we consider that for the 4, the 7 has 3 out, this is pretty bad right now, because it's only waiting on 3 tiles. So I think the 4-so right here was a lot better than the 4-pin drop. So that was a big mistake. I gotta be more wary on how the discards affect the various shapes. Keeping track of all that information and then, like, figuring out. Because, like, just knowing, like, oh, if I see this shape, I should drop, you know, like, this is not enough. You have to know, like, oh, well, I should drop this because this shape is this much better than this shape. And if you know that, then you're like, well, because this shape is this much better than this shape, but this shape is, like, this much worse because this, and this tile are out, then I should actually throw, like, this instead of this. That's kind of important. I say kind of important, but for the very, very, like, tiny specifics of it, I mean, aside from top players, you're not going to see that much. Yeah, though I still think I should throw 4-so in this case. Alright. Next up, South 3-0. 5th turn pawn. Let's see, what do I have here? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 Shanten right now. With 1 door in my hands. Potentially Peiko. And some kind of bad shapes with 5 pairs. Should I call pawn? I'm 1 Shanten away from Chitoitsu. I need a pretty big hand to get out of last. Maybe I shouldn't call pawn here. I'm really bad at hands like this. Oh my god. I know a person that's pretty decent at them, though. X-Kime, save me. Kyokai Pro, onegai shimasu. Alright. So, send that to him, see what he says. Yeah, if we do call this... yeah, I don't like calling this. Even if we just look at, like, the base rules for calling, for, like, Toy Toy or something, this does not meet it. We have 3 and 5 pin, both of which are going to be exceedingly hard to get called, like, pretty hard. Usually the rule for should I go for Chitoitsu or should I go for Toy Toy, you need several different things to go for Toy Toy. 1, you need value. We do have 1 Dora, but 2, you need the right tiles. So if you have if you have more than 1 pair, which is between 2 and 7, you probably shouldn't go for it. Because while 2s and 8s and 9s and 1s are really easy to call, as well as honor tiles, 3 through 7s are not easy. So calling this 2 right here, I think, was probably a mistake from a Toy Toy perspective. Then, what else do we have? Plus, even if we are going for, like, Honitsu, not Honitsu, Chinitsu, that's still some pretty bad shapes to go with, especially with, like, the 3-3-4-5-5 shape. And if we, like, ignore it, we have the 2-2-3-4 shape, which can take in a 1 and a 4, so... That was the 5, maybe. But I don't think the 2. So I think ignoring that probably was actually a little bit better. X-Kime chimed in as well. He said, no, Riichi. Yeah. All the mistakes. Alright. And I think that's... yeah, what's Kazi say? So I think that's all of the notes I have for this game, so thanks for watching. It's 11:14 right now, and the RTD semifinals start at 12 a.m., so in about 45 minutes. So I probably won't stream my next game, but I'll be here tomorrow morning and every day. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.